Hello my dear students, welcome to computer science class. In today's video class, let us continue with our previous topic which we were discussing about email. We have completed with the advantages of email. Let us continue with the disadvantages of email. Before we proceed, let us have a quick recall on what exactly the email is. Email stands for electronic mail, which is more popular, cheaper, easier and fastest mailing services. So when we compare with the telephone services, email is comparatively a very less expensive because it doesn't incur any cost. Only the internet charges it will incur the cost. And then when we compare it with the postal mailing service, it proves to be the fastest because it allows the user to send and receive the messages over the internet within fraction of seconds or the minutes. So therefore, email is more popular, and the fastest mailing services. Now, let us begin with the disadvantages of email. The first disadvantage of email is viruses. What exactly this virus is? Viruses are actually the computer programs that have the potential to harm the computer system. So how these viruses will actually harm the computer system? Suppose if any virus is there into your computer system, there are different kinds of viruses, boot sector viruses, macro viruses, file infectors. There are different kinds of viruses. Depending upon their nature, some viruses usually what they do, they will try to create a replicas of the files what is there in your computer system. The same copy, more number of times they will start creating the replicas out of it. So that's how they will copy themselves and further they will try to infect your computer system. Then how to come out of this problem is the recipient needs to scan the mailing services. So as in when you receive any new email, you need to first scan that before you download. So once if you scan it, you will get one pop-up message that the scanning is completed, no virus is detected. So then you can easily download such emails so that it will not harm your computer system. So this is what about the virus. Then next is what? Spam. So what exactly the spam is? See, spams, these are those emails which are unsolicited messages and unwanted advertisement. We refer that as spam. What do you mean by unsolicited messages? Unsolicited messages in the sense which are any falsified messages, which are not the genuine messages. So any unsolicited messages or any unwanted advertisement, we usually term it as a spam, where these spam emails, it will consist that content which is unwanted or any unrequested content, it will consist by the recipients. So recipients will not be expecting such messages at all. Spams usually contain such content wherein it is unwanted or irrelevant information to the particular recipient. Recipient in the sense we, the users, we usually refer it as an recipients. So what we should do for these such spams emails? So we need to usually use the spam filters in order to block the unwanted emails. So these actually who uses these spam messages? Spam messages are mostly used for the commercial advertisement. I think mostly you will be seeing in your inbox, you will be getting so many emails through some of the frequently used websites you will be getting. Suppose if you are very much in online shopping, whichever the most frequently used website if you are using, but through that you will be getting so many different messages, emails you will be getting. So those which will consist of any unwanted content, if it is there, then we actually refer them as a spam. Like say for an example, Adidas is giving you 50% flat and all. Such spams which are falsified messages you will be receiving, but actually when you visit website there will be no such messages at all. So such emails which are falsified, that is unsolicited messages, we actually refer them as a spam. So how does this spamming will be Practice. Spamming is practiced by sending the hoax emails. Hoax emails in the sense falsified emails. How the spamming is being practiced, it is by sending the hoax message, hoax emails. Like if you open your inbox on a Gmail account, if you open and see, you have a different kinds of option to the left corner, like inbox, trash, okay. Therein you will be having spam. If you look at that, open that folder and just look at the spam folder, there you will be getting so many different kinds of advertising emails you will be considering, wherein all those will be hoax emails and in the sense falsified emails. Then next, we also have another common practice for spamming. We call it as email spoofing. What exactly this email spoofing is? Email spoofing is nothing but it is an act of deceiving the recipient by altering the email header or address from which the mail is being sent. So in simple words, let me explain what is email spoofing. Email spoofing is nothing but it's the act of creating the email messages with a forged sender address, okay, so that when the emails appears, okay, it will appear as though it has been come from some genuine sender. Actually, the sender will not be sending, the actual owner of that particular company and all, they will not be sending those messages, okay. Someone else will forgery their website address and then they will create one hoax email, falsified email they'll create, and the same that company's website, same they will forgery it, and through that they will send you the email. So when you open that email, you feel that the particular company is providing you so much discount, so much cashback and all it will be providing. So that act of creating, like by using the forged sender address, if they are sending those emails, then such act we actually refer it as an email spoofing. I hope the concepts are clear. Moving on to the next one here is hacking. So what is hacking actually? Hacking, it is the act of breaking into the computer security, is being termed as hacking. In the sense what? So there will be hackers who will breach the computer security. So maybe your network, if you are having Wi-Fi at your home, all right, you will be securing your home network with some passwords and all. Suppose if someone's breached that, if they crack that password and if they try to use your network, then that would be kind of act of hacking, isn't it? So therefore the act of breaking into computer security is actually being termed as an hacking. So in this form, security breach, emails will be used or intercepted by the hackers. In the sense what? Emails will be used by the hackers after they breach the computer network security. They will try to access your emails. So that is what is the process of hacking. I hope you are able to understand. Let us move on to our next services of the internet. So we have completed with the services of the internet, that is the World Wide Web we have completed, email we have completed. Now next we need to discuss about the email discussion group. What is this email discussion group? So these are the email discussion group is a group where the different topics will be discussed with the other people through the email itself. Okay, so the email discussion group is nothing but you can discuss the different topics with the other people, and that discussion will be always through the email. See, suppose for an example, when you subscribe to any email discussion group, your email address will be added to that particular group mailing list. Alright, so henceforth you can send one mail to the discussion group, okay, where and it will be automatically delivered to all the members of that particular group. Suppose if you have a you'll be having an email discussion group, in that suppose 20 members are there. Suppose if you are sending any mail, okay, with in order to discuss in some topic, if you are sending one mail, that mail will be received by all the 20 members of that particular group. Thus, if a member posts any question or any comment, other members can respond if they wish. So all these conversations, so there only you can respond, you can provide a reply, someone else may post again a question. So all that conversation will take place only with the help of emails. That is what we call it as email discussion group. You can communicate or you can exchange your information, you can discuss any of the topics in a discussion group, but all the discussion will take place through the email. That is what is email discussion group. Okay, moving on to the next one is the news group. The next service is news group. What exactly these news group is? The news groups are the discussion groups over the internet. So email discussion groups are different than the news groups, alright. So here what happens, they are using for free of exchange of information, where you can communicate with the other people with a free of exchange of information, wherein a user will send a message to the news group site where the other people will read that message from that site and they'll reply within the same site. So that is what is a news group. So news groups have been provided by the special computers known as the news servers. There will be specially maintained news servers. So whatever the discussion will happen over the news group, that everything conversation, everything will be maintained through by the news servers. So that's all about the news group. Let us move on to the next services on the internet, that is e-commerce. I hope you know about the e-commerce already. All right. So e-commerce actually stands for electronic commerce. So this e-commerce is nothing but it will help us to carry out the business dealings over the internet. So whatever the transactions may happen, whatever the purchase, buying or selling the goods, everything happens over the internet. That process we refer it as an e-commerce. What are the examples for this e-commerce are online banking, online shopping and online education are some of the examples of the e-commerce. Moving on to the next one, that is the service, internet service is that is FTP. FTP actually stands for File Transfer Protocol. What is this file transfer protocol? See, before we started file transfer protocol, what exactly the terminology protocol is? Protocol is nothing but those are the set of rules that has to be followed when you are exchanging any information over the internet. And not only exchanging, any process if you have to carry over the internet, the certain set of rules has to be followed. So that is what the terminology protocol means. The set of rules to be followed over the internet, we usually refer it as a protocol. Now what is this FTP? FTP stands for File Transfer Protocol, wherein it is used to transfer the files over the internet easily and quickly. Alright. See, suppose if you are asking, see, this is your local computer, that means your computer, and this is a server. Alright. So whenever you request for any audio file, okay, with the help of FTP protocol, that is File Transfer Protocol, okay, when you request for, your request will go to the server and then the server will reply back with that particular audio file and then the reply will be sent to your particular computer. So all this easily you can access and send the files over the internet because of the presence of an file transfer protocol. So therefore, this file transfer protocol will help you to transfer the files over the internet very easily and quickly. Okay, the file could be any audio file, video file, any graphics or any simple documents it could be. You can easily upload or download any of the files over the internet just because of the presence of an file transfer protocol. I hope you are able to understand. Okay, moving on to the next internet service, that is Telnet or remote login. So before we proceed, let us make you to understand what is a client machine and a server machine. See, client machine is like, for example, our machines, what we handle, like for example, the laptops, the mobile devices, all right, the desktop computers, which is making a request for certain information over the internet. So such machines we usually refer it as an client machine. So client machine can also be called as an host. Why we call it as an host? Because host is one computer that is connected over the network, whether it might be any network, a LAN network, or whether it might be a WAN network. WAN is wide area network. An example for wide area network is the internet. Okay, so we can call it as a client machine or the host. So what do you mean by client machine? The client machine is the one which will request, okay, for any data from the server. Okay, when we request, a client machine is the one which will make a request to the server. Such machine we refer it as a client machine. Then what is a server? Server is nothing but it is a machine which will serve what are the requested documents are there done by the client machine. Server is a machine which will serve the requested pages or the requested documents, okay, by the client machine. That is what is the server. So in our previous that is FTP, what we have discussed, it's a file transfer protocol that will help you to transfer the files between the client machine and the server machine. Alright, because of the presence of the FTP protocol, we can easily upload and download the files over the internet. Moving on to the next one, that is telnet or remote login. See, what exactly this telnet? Telnet, this is nothing but the telnet is a kind of protocol which will help you to access a remote computer over the internet. Now let me make you to understand what is a local computer and what is a remote computer. The local computer one, wherein you can physically you can access the contents of the computer. Suppose within a room, if you have 2 or 3 devices, if you are having, okay, whether it's a computers or the laptop or the desktop computers, within 2 to 3 machines if you are having, you can physically go and access the contents out of it. You can easily exchange the information. So those the 3 machines will become a local to you, wherein you can physically access the contents out of it. Then what about if a machine is somewhere it is there in the school or college, if I have to access it right from the home, then the machine which is there in some other like school or colleges, that machine will become a remote machine wherein we cannot physically go and access the contents out of it. So such machine we actually refer it as a remote machine. Alright, so telnet is a protocol which will help you to access the remote machine which is there wherein it is located in some other location. So which protocol is helping you to access the remote machine is the telnet machine. So therefore telnet, it is used to access a remote computer over the internet, wherein you can access the data and files from the connected computer with the help of telnet. Alright, so this telnet will also provide an user interface on the screen wherein you can give the commands to the remote computer just by sitting at the different geographical location. We can access a remote machine, okay, wherein it is being placed at the different location. You can transfer the files, you can get a file over the internet, okay, you can download, you can upload to the different kinds of machines wherein it has been located at different location. So this all happen because of the presence of telnet protocol. I hope you are able to understand. Alright, then moving on to the next internet services, chatting. So I need not too much explain about the chatting. I hope you all are familiar with what is chatting actually. Chatting is nothing but it's a process of exchanging the information over the internet. It could be any live chat, okay, it could be any exchange of information, maybe in terms of text, audio or video file, okay. So this you can also have a voice chat, alright. It could be an audio chat or the video chat, wherein the voice chat is just like talking over the telephone. We have a different kinds of messenger, isn't it? we have a Yahoo Messenger, we have the Facebook Messenger. Those are all the software that would help the people to have a conversation over the internet, isn't it? So Yahoo, okay, FB, Google Chat, these are the few of the messengers there which are been extensively used for the chatting purpose, wherein you can exchange the information, whether it might be in terms of audio or the video. I hope you are able to understand the chatting. Next is what? The Gopher. Gopher is nothing but it is a kind of a system that would help the users to search for the files over the menus or the directory structures. This in the sense like how we are having a search engines like Google Chrome and all. Okay, we have an search engines. Okay, Chrome we are having. Okay, Internet Explorer. We are having a different kinds of search engines. The same way, the Gopher is also kind of the system that would help the users to search for any particular information, but that searching will be taken place based upon the menus or the directory based. Now this Gopher also makes use of the plain English, like a text based only. It doesn't support for any graphics or something like that. So whatever you are searching for, it will accept in the plain text, in the formal normal format only. It will start searching the content whatever you have requested for based upon the menus and the directory structures. So these were some of the services on the internet. Now let us move on to the some of the terms related to the internet. Here the first important term that we are going to discuss here is web page. So all these terms what we are going to discuss now are all related to the internet. So what is a web page? See, a web page is nothing but it's a web document. Now this is actually the web page here. It's a web document that could be accessed through the web browser. Okay, I have accessed this web page called as an information queue. This is one of the web page I have accessed this through the help of the web browser. Web browser, I can use any Chrome or Mozilla Firefox or Internet Explorer. Any different kinds of web browsers are available. Through that, I have accessed this particular web document and it has been displayed on a monitor or on a mobile device. So therefore, we can refer the web page to be as a web document which could be accessed through a web browser. Now, how this web page is being designed? The web page is it's usually written in the HTML or XHTML format. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language, or XHTML stands for Extensible Hypertext Markup Language. So that is one of the programming language that will help you to design the web pages. That is the most basic language which was being used to design the web page. All right, so this web page, what all it consists of? It may consist of any text or audio file or video file or any kinds of image files. Okay, so that it also provide, and apart from this it also consists of an hyperlinks also it can consist of. So what does hyperlink? Hyperlink is nothing but it will help you to navigate from one web page to the another web page. So therefore this web page may consist of any audio file, it may consist any video file or any image. Apart from that, it also consists the hyperlinks. Now these web pages are being retrieved from the local computer or from the remote web server. I hope you are able to understand. So local computer in the sense a computer wherein you can physically access the files, and a remote computer is a one where the computer is being located at the different locations wherein you can access the contents out of it through over the internet. Such computer we usually refer it as an remote computer. Now these web pages might be static web pages or it might be the dynamic web pages. So what is static web pages? Static web pages are those which are not responsive. Like see for example, information queue. This is a web page wherein I can only have the capability to read the contents of it. I cannot ask anything right here. Alright, so there will be most of the static web pages. What is dynamic web pages? Dynamic web pages in the sense like Wikipedia. Wikipedia is one of the example for the static web page. Then the dynamic web pages are nothing but which will respond you back. Suppose if you read some content out of it and if you have some queries out of it, you can immediately you can post a question. So when you post a question, if you are getting a reply out of that particular web page, then such web pages we usually refer it as a dynamic web pages. So web pages might be the static or it can be even a dynamic web pages. Okay, and these web pages are being requested from the client machine and they are being served from the web servers using a protocol known as HTTP. HTTP actually stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Now all these web pages are being served from the server. So I hope you know what is a server. Server is a machine that will provide you the requested pages from the client machine. So whatever you have requested from the client machine, all those requested pages, web pages will be sent to the client machine. So that is what is a server. So these web pages we are getting displayed onto our monitor, okay, with the help of where the web server is providing these web pages by the help of a protocol known as HTTP, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol. Okay, this HTTP is a Hypertext Transfer Protocol which makes use of another protocol, that is HTTPS. Let me show you here. All those web pages we are getting displayed onto our monitor with the help of an protocol known as HTTP. The next version here is the HTTPS, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, okay, Securitas. So this HTTPS will provide you the encryption and security and privacy to the web page content. Because of the presence of this HTTPS, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol Secure, we are able to provide the security as well as the encryption to the content what is there in the web page. So we can see the web page by typing the web address in the URL or by clicking any of the hyperlink. That means, see, this is actually the address. This is actually the website address wherein we are typing this in the URL. So this is in your web browser. We are providing the web address in the URL. URL is nothing but Uniform Resource Locator. With the help of HTTP protocol, that is Hypertext Transfer Protocol, okay, these web pages we are getting from the web servers. I'll explain this one here. This is a protocol. This is a domain name in the sense what? Domain name. That is, we have studied about the DNS, isn't it? That domain name server, isn't it? Actually, Business Insider, actually it is one of the IP address. So this DNS will convert that IP address into this in the alphabetic. So we cannot remember the IP address of this particular website, isn't it? So we know the businessinsider.com or gmail.com or yahoo.com or facebook.com, isn't it? And this is the path and this is the web page address. So you are able to access the web page by providing the address in this particular URL. So therefore, the web page can contain any of the information that can include any kind of text, color, graphics, any animation or any audio or the video files it can consist of. I hope, children, the concepts are clear. So few of other concepts related to the internet we shall discuss in our next video class. Thank you.